Listen to this for 3 seconds. A frame from a viral trail cam clip that split forums overnight. Real evidence or carefully staged fiction? We got the raw file, not a repost, not a phone capture of a phone capture. The original. That changes everything. And we ran it through a forensic checklist you'll see nowhere else. The clip was posted by a local landowner who said their security camera picked up something at the tree line around 2:14 a.m. within a public hunting lease near a high Sierra ridge. The moment hit forums, then social feeds, then the rumor mill. People called it a rare animal. Some screamed hoax, others asked for DNA. We did the one thing that matters. We verified the file. Step 1. Provenance. Who first uploaded it? And do they have the raw SD card? The uploader provided both the clip and the original .avi from the camera. That gave us metadata, timestamps, camera make, firmware version, and a basic GPS bounding box. Metadata alone doesn't prove truth, but it's the baseline. If the metadata had been scrubbed or contradictory, we would have stopped right there. It wasn't. So we kept going. Next, the camera. This model is a low-end trail/security hybrid with a PIR trigger and multi-shot burst mode. That matters because these cameras don't capture continuous motion the way a phone does. They trigger, grab 2 to 3 frames, and sleep. That behavior can create partial frame artifacts that look like weird motion, and people mistake that for missing limbs or stretched bodies. We replicated the camera's settings on a bench test. The same partial capture effect reproduced under controlled movement. That explained some but not all of what we saw. Look at the frame at 0002. The silhouette stands just at the tree line, shoulders relaxed, no obvious limb motion. Then the next frame shows a faint duplication at the edge, a smear that some viewers called a second arm. Our frame differencing test showed that duplication aligns exactly with known compression artifacts from this camera's firmware when the PIR triggers mid-exposure. In plain English, the camera can smear motion under certain lighting. That accounts for the ghost edge. It doesn't explain why the figure was there. It only explains how the camera could lie about exact shape. Audio often tells the story when visuals don't. This clip has no onboard audio, so we moved to ambiance, wind pattern, moon phase, and expected animal activity for the night. The landowner reported light wind and a full moon. Under those conditions, a small animal or a person could appear as a dark spike against the tree line. A coyote at a particular angle looks surprisingly tall. We tested that too. 3 coyote models at 2 angles and 2 gait speeds. The silhouette size and limb spacing didn't match a coyote at the distance implied by the metadata, so we crossed one obvious wildlife candidate off the list. But now the hard part, editing artifacts. If someone wanted to fake this, they'd composite a figure into a frame and add camera noise. The giveaway is often the pixel noise around the subject. We ran a pixel noise homogeneity test. The noise pattern around the silhouette matched the rest of the frame. That doesn't guarantee authenticity. A skilled forger can apply global noise, but it makes a cheap composite unlikely. We looked for splice seams, repeated blocks, and duplicated background patches. None were present. That increased the clip's credibility. Not proof of authenticity yet, but it nudged the needle. Provenance also includes chain of custody. The uploader told us the SD card had been in a locked glove box and only taken to the farm office the morning after the clip was recorded. 2 neighbors corroborated seeing the camera housing undisturbed. Those are small confirmations, but they matter. Hoaxes typically have messy chains, accounts that change, missing originals, or stories that shift. This one stayed consistent under questioning, and that made us take it seriously enough to continue. Next test, trigger speed replication. We mounted the same camera on a tripod and walked a human test subject along the same azimuth, wearing a heavy jacket and a hood. We filmed at the same time of night, same IR settings. The result? A near-perfect match for the way the subject's edges smeared and how the camera gain hunted. The key difference remained. Our test subject's gait left clear clues, step cadence, heel strikes, shoulder roll, that you could track across frames. The viral clip's silhouette didn't show those mechanics. Its posture was too still. That was odd. We then ran a motion-stabilized triptych of 3 frames centered on the event. In most staged videos, you see micro-continuity errors, inconsistent shadows, misaligned grain, or an impossible light bounce. The triptych here had consistent lighting and shadow direction. The small, regressive artifact was consistent with the camera's IR pulse and not a post-edit smear. That didn't settle the case by itself, but it eliminated a common tell: sloppy compositing. Next, we tested replication by non-humans. Using taxidermy mounts and a remote-controlled rig, we exposed shapes that matched the silhouette's height but not its proportions. A deer's shoulder-to-waist ratio, a bear's gait, even an oddly standing elk. None matched the viral outline. The closest visual match came from a human-sized coat stuffed with branches, placed at chest height on a stump, backlit slightly. That could be staged by someone wanting to create a scare. But here's the clincher. Placing a prop in that position would have left ground disturbance visible in the frames before the event. We checked earlier frames on the SD card. No disturbance. That reduces the plausibility of a nearby staged prop. We also asked an independent wildlife biologist to look at the frames. She noted that the silhouette's shoulder slope and posture were atypical for known local fauna, and asked whether a human could hold absolutely still for the frame sequence shown. Humans do not freeze perfectly without micro-movement, and our high magnification inspection found no toe twitch patterns, no heel micro-dips. That suggests, though does not prove, either a non-human actor or a person who was motionless beyond natural expectation. Both are interesting, both are rare,